What's up with the Hustle Gang? Jess Campos right here, and it's been a while, guys. It's been a while since the last time I made a video, and to be real with you, I've been wanting to post YouTube videos. It's been sitting in the back of my head all these days for a long time, and I've been busy with family. I've been busy working, tattooing. I've been busy doing all kinds of creative things.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I hustle harder than you. I hustle harder than you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hustle harder than you. I hustle harder than you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Be chillin' no day with your boo. Chillin' no day with your boo. I been on that mad hustle all day. I been on that mad hustle.
Tattooing. I've been busy doing all kinds of creative things. I'm still trying to put my head around the things I love doing the most. And I gotta say that I don't believe I'm the only one. I don't believe that I'm the only person that is lost and confused about what I love the most when I love so many different things. I see people that find so easily, they find niches or a niche or how do you say it? They find that knick knack, whatever they fucking call it. They find that specialty that they devote so much time and focus on, and they concentrate that focus and they create something big out of themselves, something massive. You know what I mean? They gain popularity, they gain followers, they gain audience, they gain fans. Me, I have always struggled. Right, I have always struggled to produce the same effect with my channels, with my accounts, my Instagram, my Facebook, and all my accounts. I've always struggled to retain an audience because I'm all over the place. But like I said, it cannot just be me. I'm all over the place because there's so many things that I like and I want. I don't just want to do one thing. One day I can be in love with painting. I'll grab some brushes. I'll grab some paints. I'll find a canvas. I'll go to the store and buy one if I don't have one in my hand. I'll buy the colors that I need that day. I'll be so in love with painting because I'm so inspired by some video I watched, or I'm so inspired by my own ideas. And I do watch a lot of content, and I get inspiration from the content. So you might say, oh, well, don't watch so much goddamn content. But it's difficult not to watch content because I get inspired by content. A lot of creators do. A lot they get created, inspired by content. But me, I get up, wake up in the morning and I have this amazing idea. I want to paint something. I want to create something. And it's always in the back of my head. I want to create something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a tattoo design that I've been thinking of or been trying to develop in my head, an idea that I want to bring out and make it a reality, whether it's on pencil paper or on a digital tablet, using Photoshop or Illustrator or using all these different tools that I have. Right. I have an iPad Pro where I can sketch out my designs. I have pencils and paper. I have markers. I have Sharpies. I have canvases. I have T-shirts that I want to airbrush. I have all these different things that I want to focus my attention on, right? That I want to focus on and create and build things. But it's always something slightly different than the other. Like I get into painting, right? I'm so in love with painting one day, and I create something. I might not finish it because it's a complicated task, or it's a task that involves several hours of work or even days of work. And then I start to put in the work into it, and then I'm like, damn, how long is this going to take me? Because I want to see the product. I want to see the process already there. You know what I mean? There's a process to everything, and I'm thinking I just want to see the results and skip out on the process. It's kind of impossible, and I get caught up in the process where I'm like, okay, I started painting this. Now I'm kind of confused whether how I should finish it. Now we're getting into the real focus, the nitty gritty of things, and I'm like, okay, what colors am I gonna use? What background? What's gonna make this pop? What's gonna make this stand out? And I get so caught up in this, man. And like I said, I cannot be the only person that is in love with many different things in the art world. There's many different things in the art world. Sometimes I'm so in love with the idea of creating something so custom, like a pair of shoes, and just buying all the paints that I need, and only do it once, right? I buy all the paints that I need for one project, and then halfway down the project, I might abandon it or work on something else and come back to it. Go in something else and come back to it. Um, but yeah, that's the reality of things. It's the thing that I've been battling all my life, that I cannot put my focus into one little subject. I've seen artists that focus mainly on lettering. I've had my experience with lettering. I spent years developing a lettering style, but I don't practice it anymore. I don't practice it as much as I used to. I don't practice creating font styles and like these other guys do. They do it for years and years. This guy, Big Sleeps, he is known for his lettering style, for his street lettering style of LA culture, or whatever you call it. Um, but you see that he has that focus. He created a brand around this idea and this focus that he's had for so long. I don't see him draw designs. I don't see them tattoo very many like designs or things, created designs. He does a lot of lettering, and that's all he wants to do, and that's fucking awesome. Not me. I cannot do that. I cannot sit and say I'm gonna dedicate my whole life to this. If I did, I'd probably get somewhere. But this is videos because I know that I'm struggling. I'm struggling to retain that focus on that one subject and become an expert in it. You know what I mean? So I'm all over the place. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are out there like me, and I know there's gonna be people that are gonna say, "Hey, man, I know how you feel." When I started tattooing, when I learned tattooing, um, and people came to me, I have my own mind, my own mindset. I did not know how everybody else works in the industry, but it seems that the people that focus on those one subjects, on a single subject, or maybe just a couple subjects, of style or detail that goes into the masterpiece that they're working on, I noticed that they get somewhere. They develop, And me, when people came to me for a design and they brought me ideas, I was trying to produce that idea for the client. I was working individually for the client. One day a client would come to me and say, "I want to get this Chinese dragon tattooed on me." You know what I mean? And then I would just sit there and try to research a Chinese dragon and draw it out, put it on pencil and paper, sketch it out, and then tattoo it, and then having to apply colors to it or whatever. But the next time someone came to me, I wanted some lettering, and I'd have to put all that focus into lettering, creating a font, creating a unique style. So yeah, I was doing all these things, but never really putting all the focus into it. Like some people only want to do dragons. Some people only want to do owls. Uh, there's a guy that I follow. He does mainly only owls or creatures with wings. You know what I mean? Whether it's an eagle or an owl or just anything that's flapping wings. You know what I mean? Feathers. Um, but yeah, like I said, the focus and attention must be there. If you're a beginning artist, if you are trying to get into the industry, or if you've been in the industry for so long, you got to know how to focus. You got to learn how to focus. And this is coming from me, a person that has a hard time focusing on that one thing, that one subject that's going to just take off. Eventually, it will if you just put the focus into it. But I tried to do it, and it was hard for me. I don't know. It made me happy though. It made me happy to switch between subjects. It made me happy to switch from painting on a canvas, some mountain range with a peacock and feathers, and it made me happy to switch from something like that to um, creating a design on my tablet um, of a chick, with hair and boobs and a body and just the shapes and the shades of colors and all this stuff, right? And then from switching from that to maybe some lettering, custom lettering, or some sort of a traditional tiger. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do a tiger and do it all traditional in style. You know what I mean? With colors and watercolors at that. So yeah, I've been all over the place. I've grown in skill from switching from place to place, but never really grew in popularity for something like that because the people that have been watching my process here are confused on what I like doing, and the simplest way to put it is I like doing a little bit of everything because every day I feel a little different. I don't see how someone can, I cannot comprehend in my mind how someone can feel the same every single day they go to work. It's like going to work on a cubicle and sitting on that typewriter and typing, the same words over and over. It's like, that wouldn't be me. I like to do something slightly different every day, and that was what makes me happy. But it doesn't make me visible. Um, I become a book. I become a dictionary. You have to look into the pages to see what I represent, what I mean, what I do. Um, I get inspiration from many. Like I said, I get inspiration from many different artists out there in the world. One day I might see an artist doing something massive on a canvas, and the next day I'll see someone doing some cool and sick ass graffiti on some wall, and I'm like, man, I gotta go buy some spray paints. I gotta spray something. Um, what if I took all this that I know, all this knowledge, because I practice a little bit with everything, with different materials. I become experienced in airbrushing. I become experienced in creating digital design, graphic design for T-shirts. I'm also in love with creating T-shirt designs. I'm in love creating art, like the back of my wall. My gallery is right here. I'm in love with creating artwork for my clients, tattooing, airbrushing, graffiti. I'm in love with, many different ideas that just come and hit me occasionally on different times. And I'm just like, wow, what can I do next? Can I actually sit and paint a pair of shoes with what is that, leather paint, shoe paint, and create something so cool that I've seen some cool shit out there online, and I'm like, man, they're doing some cool shit. What if I can do some cool shit like that too? Some custom sneakers, some shoes, some fucking Air Force or something. Uh, what if I can be a custom king because everything that I like doing is unique and personal to that other person. I've done pet portraits on canvases. I've done a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? So I feel a little lost, but in this lost world is where I find myself. It's where I find pleasure. I find pleasure in discovering new things, new ways of doing things. I find pleasure in a happiness in creating something that I haven't created before. For example, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I did a lot of cholo style designs. The cholos with the big bigotes, and they had the big mustache and the looks, and they had that hair and the baggy pants, and they're standing there with a shotgun or something, and or chicks, some hyena, um, with boobs and butt and body, whatever. So I was doing all these designs, a clown, doing little clowns and little jokers and, stuff like that. That was almost, very apparent to Chicano culture, you know what I mean? I was doing a lot of that when I was younger. So now that I'm a little older, it's like, I still love it, but I've already done it. I've done that already. And even though if I want to make new versions of those designs or a whole new, there's a lot of people that are actually in love with that kind of style and that kind of theme. And I've seen a lot of successful artists that focus on those specific niche, you know what I mean? Um, and I'm like, that can't be me because I already have done that. I've done the cholo designs. Now what's next? What's new? What's out there for me? What else can I do? Um, I get inspired by nature a lot. So behind me, I have a painting sitting on my floor, um, of waves crashing into this rock, and it's a picture that I took out at the beach, and I was very inspired by this picture that I just loved everything about it. I took the photo. I love doing photographs as well. I also wanted to learn photography because I'm in love with the art of photography. So I'm a very lost person. But like I said, this is where I find myself. I find myself in this lost world, man. It's just crazy. And I know there's got to be people out there that understand where I'm coming from. Um, I've been able to succeed in retaining a large number of clients and tattooing as many people as I could, um, and making sure that I tattooed everybody that came in the door. But what if I got picky and said, no, I'm not going to tattoo you because I don't like what you want to get. I'm not going to tattoo you because you're going for something that's totally off my style, off my charts. You know what I mean? I'm going to focus on these little things. And over the years, I've managed to do some of that. You know, I went from doing black and gray and color work. And after a while, I realized, you know what? Even though I love doing color work, I don't feel that I'm very good at it. And even though I would like to express and develop my color artistic skills in coloring, um, I prefer to focus on a black and gray because I love getting black and gray tattoos myself. So, you know, I mean, maybe coloring tattoos is just not going to be my thing. Um, I love color tattoos, but I just don't seem that I have the patience to put in that kind of work. You know what I mean? The color work is very tedious. You got to fill every corner in solid work. You know what I mean? I don't like the idea of doing solid work on skin. I love to see shades and lines, you know, separate from the skin. And I love to see, you know, I mean, how pieces come together without the distraction of all these colors. I just don't like the distraction. A lot of times colors are beautiful and everything, but a lot of times they're a distraction to the design itself. Like you got red over here, blue over there, you got purples, you got oranges, you got greens, you got all these colors. And there's ways to make those colors look beautiful and nice. But for me, it's like, it's a distraction to look at, you know what I mean? Like, okay, when you're working on it, you know what I'm saying? So focusing on black and gray is one thing that I have managed to do in the last few years. Focusing on black and gray. Um, so yeah, also focusing on more of a realistic uh, chick design, animal portrait design. Um, I loved realism, Greek inspired art, like sculpture type of work or religious type of work. You know, the Virgin Mary, the clown face chick, all that stuff is inspiring to me very deeply. Um, so that's the stuff I like doing. And if you guys have any questions about how I come about all these ideas and just put them together, I would like to sit down with you and just talk more about in depth about these kind of things, man, because I can't, like I said, I cannot possibly be the only individual out there who feels this way. I feel like I have a lot of love for different types of art. So this is a clip based on how I operate. All right, I operate in many different ways. I also love technology. As you can see, I try to learn the skill of photography using a DSLR camera is very difficult and it takes very many, I guess, photos. You got to go through so many shoots to figure out how to use a camera like that. So many dials, so many aspects to the settings and setting it up for every single photo. You got to adjust your camera for every single photo you're taking, and that's the hard part for me. And figuring out how everything works. Maybe that's what I'm in love with. I'm in love with not the things, but in how the things work. You know what I mean? So um, building things from scratch. If I have designed a dragon yesterday, today I may not feel like designing a dragon, or tomorrow. I just want to find new and different things, and that's where I'm always in this state of mind where I want to create, but I don't want to keep creating the same thing. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. It's Jazz, the Ink Hustle Tattoo TV, and follow me on my channel, the Ink Hustle. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll give you guys more on this story if you guys are interested to know more of all the things I love doing. Like I said, I learned how to do screen printing by hand. First, I had to learn how to design, draw it out. Like I can know how to draw. Now I need to figure out how to put this design on a T-shirt. So I had to learn screen printing. Um, and then I learned emulsion, the techniques of making something on a screen using emulsion, um, transferring the design with squeegee on the board and on the screen print, and laying it on a T-shirt, and all those little things. So yeah, I have been in many forms. So I feel like I'm that guy, Dirty Jobs, where every day in every show he was doing a different job, and people loved watching him because he was interesting to watch for the way he talks and everything, the way he interacts with his jobs. But every day he had a new job, and he had to kind of learn the basics of the job and perform the job. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about how I do things. Every day something new. Every day I need to figure out how to use these tools and equipment, and I'm always looking for new ways. I've been so fucking interested in doing uh, what do you call metal carving on guns or chrome. You know what I mean? You've seen those little wavy, swirly designs, scroll leafing on metal with a carving tool. That is something I've been grabbing interest in, and I've been wanting to buy the machine, but it's like, damn, it's gonna be a process of just buying the equipment, and what if it just sits there, I never use it. Anyway, I'm gonna rant on about all this stuff too, but those are things that I enjoy learning about, knowing about. So I feel like I want to be that guy from Dirty Jobs, and just go to every single person that has invited me into their workspace and say, hey, let's do this. Another thing I gravitate to is carving on wood carving, metal carving. I like to put myself up for a challenge. So if you are someone who's like, hey, I have this workshop, why don't you come and challenge? I challenge you to come out here and see if you can pull it off. See if you can do it. I like to be challenged. So if you got a challenge for me, let me know. I'll trade you work. I'll tattoo you for a challenge. I want to be challenged, man, at whatever it is that you're doing. If it's in the creative industry of art and design, so challenge me, man. I'm ready to take a challenge. Hit me up, like, hey, man, take this challenge, man. Can you carve this on this, or stuff like that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Till next time, the Ink Hustle, Jess Campos. See ya.